Hello, my name is Gabriel Alfonzo, and for mission 2, I decided to do the Coriolis effect. So, what exactly is the Coriolis effect? The Coriolis effect is a phenomena that involves the deflection of the atmosphere either to the left or to the right, depending on which hemisphere you're in. So, in short, things don't move exactly in a straight line, but rather they're curved. How exactly does it work? Well, in the northern hemisphere, the deflection happens to the right, while in the southern hemisphere, the deflection happens to the left. The strongest deflections happen near the poles, which are the points furthest from the equator, and these deflections happen due to the poles rotating faster. So they have stronger deflections because they rotate faster. And these forces do not occur at the equator because it's right at the center of the Earth. So, what does this impact have on the atmosphere and the hydrosphere? Well, the main impact on the atmosphere would probably be tropical cyclones. So, in the northern hemisphere, tropical cyclones move counterclockwise, they spin counterclockwise. In the northern hemisphere, you have hurricanes, which occur in the North Atlantic and the central North Pacific and the eastern North Pacific. And you also have typhoons, which are the same thing, except they occur in the Northwest Pacific. And in the southern hemisphere, you have cyclones, where they occur in the South Pacific and the Indian Ocean, and their winds move clockwise rather than counterclockwise. So both move in different directions. And it's also important to note that these storms do not cross the equator. So you can't have a cyclone cross from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere, and you can't have a hurricane or a typhoon cross from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere. It'll dissipate. Right here, you can see I have an example of a cyclone in the southern hemisphere spinning clockwise and a cyclone in the northern hemisphere spinning counterclockwise. I also have a photo here that shows almost every single recorded tropical cyclone to date. And as you can see, there is this big gap at the equator because they do not cross the equator. Now, in the hydrosphere, the main impact that the Coriolis effect has on it, are whirlpools. Now, whirlpools are a little bit tricky. They aren't exactly fully affected by the hydrosphere. A lot of times, they're affected by currents and human activity. So they're minimally affected by the Coriolis effect. However, they still are given a general direction of where they have to go due to the Coriolis effect. So it's the same thing as cyclones, tropical cyclones. They spin counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern hemisphere. So, in conclusion, the Coriolis effect is caused by the Earth's rotation on its axis. This causes it to have curved atmospheric motion. It influences winds, storms, and currents alike. And fun fact, it is actually a myth that the Coriolis affects how toilets spin. Thank you for your time, and these are my sources.